Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. How's it going? And welcome to the Just Chatting Gaming News and Trailers for the week of March 25th. I actually have quite a bit happening this last week. You actually have PAX happening this weekend. There was GDC, the Game Developers Conference, and as part of that, there was the State of Unreal. So kind of like three big events sort of happening at the same time. There were a bunch of sort of trailers and demos and stuff that I'm not going to show you, but I'll tell you about them in case you want to actually go and see them. One was yesterday. Square Enix, Yoshi P, and the crew from Final Fantasy 16 had a presentation at PAX where they showed a bunch of that game. And I think it's like a half hour, 45 minutes long. You can actually find that on YouTube on the Square Enix channel. So yeah, if you're interested in Final Fantasy 16, go check out that presentation. I saw bits and pieces of it, and it was pretty impressive. A couple other things. We've seen some trailers for Lies of P, and they released an 11-minute gameplay trailer for that, so that'd be another one to check out. In general, you can check out the entire presentation from the State of Unreal if you're interested in that. We will be checking out some of the trailers here in this video. And yeah, just in general, anything else from PAX or GDC that might be happening, all that stuff is always worth checking out. But to go ahead and kick it off with sort of our lead story, for those who don't know, there is a new game coming out, or at this point might not come out, called Dark and Darker. It's a game that has held several free beta tests on Steam, and it's a game that has absolutely blown up. A lot of very, very big content creators have been playing this game, streaming this game, and it's essentially blown up, and the game is not even out yet. The game has a little bit of a problem, though. So as the story goes, there was another development studio that was going to make a game that was very similar to Dark and Darker. That game got canceled, and a bunch of people from that team essentially was let go from that company. Those people sort of banded together, started up their own company, and made Dark and Darker. And so they have been accused by the original company of stealing assets to make Dark and Darker, because again, the game that they were working on previously was very similar in nature. And this is all out of South Korea, and so there was a police raid on their offices, and here this last week, they got issued a DMCA takedown for Dark and Darker, and so it's been removed from Steam, and essentially there's going to be a big court case that happens to see whether or not they did steal things and all that stuff. So yeah, not good for the Dark and Darker devs. We'll have to see what happens, but it could be that that game never comes out at this point. And yeah, kind of crazy. We'll have to keep a very close eye on that and see what happens. Speaking of crazy things, during that State of Unreal, Counter-Strike 2 was announced. And for those who don't know, CSGO is one of the biggest games out there. It's one of the biggest esports out there, incredibly popular. In fact, just yesterday, at the time that I'm recording this video, CSGO hit their all-time player peak for concurrent on Steam. But yeah, finally, after all these years, they're finally making the second one, and it's actually coming out this year. And so there's a couple videos out there, as I'm scrolling through their website here, of them showing what the new game looks like and a lot of the mechanics. They're doing different things with like smoke and latency and all kinds of crazy things. But yeah, a very highly competitive shooter that is essentially just getting better. Oh, this is a cool little slider thing that I didn't see. Here's CSGO versus 2. Yeah, look at that. It's gonna look better. I always like these little slider things. What do we got here? Upgraded maps. Old, new. Old, new. Touchstone maps. Old? New. Also, I believe this is a completely free update or free game version for everybody. And I also saw that like all of your microtransactions, your cosmetic items, all that fun stuff will automatically transfer over to Counter-Strike 2. So good on them. Absolutely. Next up, this is a fun little story. So a brand new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game has been announced, and it's going to be based off of a very popular graphic novel called The Last Ronin, where all the turtles die except for one of them. And I won't tell you which one in case you don't want it spoiled. And apparently it's going to be an action RPG in the similar nature of God of War. So that sounds very cool, like a very dark, like, Turtles game. Third-person action combat. That sounds like crazy to me. I'm totally down. They did not announce the studio. They're sort of keeping that a secret for now. It'd be like really crazy if it was like From Software or, you know, something crazy like that, or even like a Sony studio. So I'm sure here in the coming months/year, we'll learn more about this game. But yeah, very exciting. Could be very, very cool. And then our last story for the day before we get into trailers, as I'm sure everybody knows, the Microsoft Activision Blizzard deal is something that we've talked about just a ton since this has started. And Sony is fighting it, and there's certain like government entities that are fighting it. They're saying it's a monopoly, and so there's so much back and forth. Will it go through? Will it not go through? We'll have to see. But as far as the Microsoft side of things, or at least Microsoft getting partial approval here a few days ago, the UK's CMA has provisionally concluded that the Microsoft Activision Blizzard deal will not result in any substantial lessening of competition in the gaming services, because Microsoft is unlikely to withhold Call of Duty from PlayStation. And the funny thing about this entire deal is it's all about Call of Duty. Like, some people may not realize just how big Call of Duty is, but it's like this entire deal is completely centered around Call of Duty. Like, World of Warcraft, they don't care. Diablo, they don't care. You know, Candy Crush, they don't care. And all these other games that Activision Blizzard has, it's like they don't care. It's all Call of Duty. Because Call of Duty is so massive, it makes so much money every single year, and the majority of the player base is on PlayStation, and it's crazy. And there was actually a story last week, actually even the last couple of weeks, where Microsoft keeps making deals with other companies. So like they signed a 10-year deal with Nintendo for Call of Duty. They've signed multiple 10-year deals with cloud-based gaming services to have Call of Duty on those. And Microsoft offered PlayStation a 10-year deal, and PlayStation said no. And Jim Ryan, the head of PlayStation, came out, and there was a quote last week where he said, "I don't want a 10-year deal. I just want to block this entire deal from happening." And so Microsoft, Phil Spencer was even out there saying, hey, we will probably have Call of Duty on Game Pass. We will let you put Call of Duty on PlayStation. What is I'm forgetting the term. PlayStation Plus or whatever it's called, that service. And they said no. I just think PlayStation is being like so stubborn about this. If anything, they're gonna just work themselves out of the deal. So we'll see what happens. It's a story like every single week about what's happening with this, but I think it's probably gonna go through. One other quick thing is somebody asked me, hey, is Diablo 4 going to be on Game Pass? And the answer to that is actually no. One, because the deal's not done. And two, the deal's probably not going to be done by June. And so Rod Ferguson from the Diablo team was out there saying, no, we're not going to put it on Game Pass, at launch anyway. So it could be at some point in the next 12 months, next year, that it comes to Game Pass, but not at the moment. So pretty cool. All right, let's go ahead and get into trailers. So the first 3 trailers we're going to watch are from the State of Unreal. And these are trailers that are basically showing off Unreal Engine 5 and the capabilities of that engine from different studios. So we're going to kind of start with the weakest one and then work our way to the best one. So this first one is called Project M. It's the official GDC trailer from NCSoft. So let's take a look. This is also in 4K. Here we go. A lot of this is like, how pretty can we make our people? And environments.
Project M is one of NCSoft's most ambitious projects to date. What would it mean to you if the world was comprised of informational particles instead of physical particles? Oh, I got a little ahead of myself. I am PJ Kemp from NCSoft. Welcome to Project M. How would the fabric of simulated reality change our perceived world if we could tamper with the arrangement of those particles?
Basically, Detroit Become Human.
This very idea is what sparked Project M.
So I'm going to pause this here for just a second. To me, this one doesn't look that impressive. This looks like a game that could be released today. And so I feel like NCSoft, even though they're playing with it, they're not quite up to where some of the other companies are. So like the next 2 trailers we're going to see are like very impressive. But this one,
The informational particles that shape Project M's world can transform reality based on your choices. And each choice you
like
make
the environments
will
and
change
the
your
lighting
experience.
look great.
The information that exists in the present reality determines how the world will unfold. Value every encounter and every moment. These will be essential in the world of Project M. This is where our journey ends for now. I look forward to seeing you all again soon.
Yeah, we'll see what that is at some point down the road. Ding ding. All right, next up we have got the Lords of the Fallen State of Unreal Technical Showcase Trailer GDC for PC, PS5, Xbox Series X in 4K. Here we go.
Welcome to the Lords of the Fallen Technical Showcase. Here at Hexworks, our goal has always been to...
By the way, I really had no plans of buying this game until I saw this trailer.
Create the most immersive game experience possible. Today, we're journeying to Skyrest Bridge, one of the game's early locations.
Has anybody ever played
to
like the
demonstrate
original
just
Lord,
some of the
Lords
impressive
of the
ways
Fallen?
Unreal Engine 5's state-of-the-art technologies have helped us deliver on this ambitious vision for our upcoming action RPG. We want players to feel fully immersed in our world by playing as their own unique virtual persona. To achieve this, we've used a combination of technologies, including 3D scans of real people and UE5's own character customization tech. Players can create unique faces and bodies by dynamically morphing between a huge range of shapes before finessing the finer details. Our extensive selection of armor sets seamlessly adapt to whatever shape the player chooses. It's really important to us that we represent
cool.
as wide a proportion of our audience as possible. Being able to customize your hero in Lords of the Fallen is only the beginning. Each and every one of our characters is incredibly detailed, using high-resolution textures. Get up close to any surface in the game, like this tunic for example, and detailed texturing provides incredible levels of micro-detail. How these objects move and behave is also crucial for player immersion. UE5's Chaos Physics engine facilitates advanced simulations for clothes, chains, hair, belts, and a whole lot more. This helps to substantially enhance the secondary motion in all our characters, making their movements look much more lifelike. The lighting in Lords of the Fallen takes full advantage of Unreal's brand new Lumen GI. We've been able to light our complex environments
Lumen
in
is
real
really
time,
cool.
meaning we can immediately see the effect of a light bounce, for example, without waiting for the traditional slow baking processes. Watch how the lighting reacts as we move our light source around this environment. Global illumination like this can be quite demanding on processing, so we also make use of emissive shapes to add additional details to the lighting of any space. We can then fine-tune these light bounces on our nanite meshes, providing our world with impressive levels of detail and minimal impact on performance. Perhaps the most important element of Lords of the Fallen is the ability to travel between two worlds: the realm of the living, Axiom, and the realm of the dead, Umbral. We've created our own custom toolset within UE5 that allows us to intricately craft these two environments side by side and seamlessly swap between them. This means our artists and designers can ensure these worlds feel intrinsically linked, like two sides of the same coin, even if one side is decidedly more horrific than the other. On behalf of Hexworks, thanks for watching today's brief tech presentation. The twin realms of Umbral and Axiom await fearless adventurers later this year when Lords of the Fallen launches on PC and current-gen consoles.
Yeah, that looks cool. I don't know if that's a Souls-like or more of just an action-adventure game. All right, and then this trailer I've already shown like twice on stream. We're just going to watch it again. Here we go. YouTube hasn't seen it yet.
Sign, perf, cut, take 13.
I see through your darkness now. I see through your lies. I will show them how to see as I do. I will not appease your gods. I will destroy them.
Cut.
Good? You like it?
That's next gen. That's Hellblade 2 coming out hopefully later this year. All right. Next up, this is kind of along the same lines. And we talked about this a little bit yesterday on stream, but Ubisoft, and I'm sure many other developers, are creating AI to help with like NPC dialogue. So this is Ubisoft is developing an AI ghostwriter to save script writers time. And I have not seen this trailer, so let's see what this is.
The chatter of crowds and triggered NPC lines, known as barks, are essential to player immersion.
Mercenaries patrolling the street. Get the f over here.
And behind every line of speech is a narrative team that writes it. Ghostwriter is an in-house AI tool created by Ubisoft La Forge. It helps narrative designers and scriptwriters generate a first draft of these barks. Scriptwriters first create a character and a variable input, an event or situation for a character to experience. Ghostwriter can then generate new versions of the line depending on the mode selected. These modes vary in style depending on the needs of the scriptwriter. The scriptwriter selects the lines to keep and edits them freely until they're ready for voice recording. When scriptwriters accept or regenerate line options, the machine learning model learns from each selection, effectively creating a more accurate tool with use. Ghostwriter was created hand-in-hand with narrative teams to help them complete a repetitive task more quickly and effectively, giving them more time and creative freedom to work on the game's narrative, characters, and cutscenes.
I missed you, brother.
And ensuring players encounter NPCs that are interesting, consistent, and just chatty enough.
Go work at Ubisoft. All right. Next up, we have got a brand new trailer for Marvel's Midnight Suns. Let's see what we got.
Morbius. Blade. I differ on a biological level. You've left me no choice.
So he just plays like Black Panther then?
Gamma serum flows through the blood of these Hydra soldiers. Nobody's to blame but yourself. Tell me where you brought the serum. Tell me!
My master, the Lord of Vampires. And there's nothing you can do to stop Dracula.
Dun dun dun.
It has been decided. It is a vampire's nature to betray the living.
Excuse me?
Thought he was one of the good guys.
Still waiting for that Storm DLC. All right, next up, there was a new Sonic game announced. Maybe it's an anime, who knows? Oh, remasters. Thing is, we already have Sonic Mania, which remastered like the first game and added new content, so not sure why they're remastering the first one again. I like the way them cases look. They look like the original cases. With that black, like, meshy grid background. All right, 2 trailers left. There was a new Lego game announced for those who have not heard. Let's take a look. It's gonna get us a copyright strike.
Hello, Bricklandia. I'm Vicki Wheeler.
And I'm Parker Carr. Today's top story.
You driving fast. Really fast.
You build stuff.
You break stuff.
And you want this, the Sky Trophy.
But there's a villain in your way.
Shadow Z.
That's me, Shadow.
Just muting it so we don't have copyright problems.
Clutch Racington, ex-big shot driver who trains rookie racers. So let's go!
Come on!
The hamburger mobile. Wait, why did we switch resolution?
This just in, there's even more. Quests, minigame, challenges, split screen, multiplayer, epic rival, wildlife, alien raids, high-speed chases, livestock and law, big eggs, bigger donuts,
big
eggs, Skelematron, geyser flying, blue pigs, pretty crystals, kitties, shopping, jetpacks, zombies, brick bugs, spiders, power-ups, drifting, and clowns.
I know, I'm sure some people will be really into this. Like, build your own, like, vehicles and go out and crash them and races and... You know, maybe. I'll just wait for Forza Motorsports. All right, last trailer of the day is the official story trailer for Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Let's take a look.
It's been a long 5 years. We've tried to resist. Fear and mistrust rule the galaxy.
Cal, look into the fire. It will warm you, keep you company. But left unchecked, it will consume everything until there is only ash.
How could you let the galaxy fall to this unworthy machine of an empire?
Hope may feel beyond our grasp. But I think we finally found somewhere the Empire can't reach us.
Imagine. No more looking over your shoulder.
A place that's worth fighting for. No matter the cost.
Game looks great. It's gonna be here before we know it. Yeah, really cool. All right, for those who are watching on YouTube, that is gonna go ahead and do it for the video. So thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see ya in the next one.